Hey guys, so Lord here, back in with another action figure review. Today I'll be taking a look at Dimistrus. You know, good old Dimistrus from that franchise you love so much. This of course is brought to us by the fine folks over at Horsemen Studios. And for those of you who don't quite get my humor or didn't understand my joke that I just did there, Dimistrus is a standalone release. So if you ever wanted to complete a Four Horsemen line and not spend a lot of money, $37, one and done. That said, good old Dimistrus here was initially a PowerCon exclusive and was just a character created by the Horsemen to help kind of promote the convention. That said, I'm curious if they're going to keep this thing going, especially since there is no PowerCon this year. That said, they did do the Skullman for ZoloCon, so I'm very much looking forward to getting my hands on that whenever they decide to throw up the standard version on sale, because screw paying $85 for that con exclusive version. I mean, I think you can get it cheaper than that on eBay, and that's eBay. eBay's not a good place to buy from, especially if you're irresponsible like some people out there. So, with that being said, let's get right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at what accessories Dimistrus has to offer aside from some killer soft goods. We'll take a look at those in a minute here, but in true, I guess, Horseman fashion, I mean, he is a Legions figure, but at the same time, he's not. He does come with a strap, actually two straps, but they're both the same, so I just have one here. He's packaged with these on his chest, like I have the straps connected to the soft goods, so that's kind of cool. You want to just pop the pauldrons on and have him ready to go like that, you can do that. He does come with the Brother Mandibulus Special, as I like to call it, this big giant spear, sword, blade thingy that you can use to skewer your enemies into shish kebabs. But it's got some wraps there. It's got the big old chunky blade that almost looks like a bat ear. I'm surprised none of the vampire dudes came with one of those. We also have a Morning Star, or a mace, a flail, with a real metal chain. So it can go dangly, dangly, dangly right in front of you like car keys. That's always fun. And I think this is probably the weapon that fits him the most. Mostly because it ties into his green eyes. And that is this giant Buster Sword, Broadsword, whatever you want to call it. This originally came with Morgulith. So aside from coming with one of the big chunky battle axes that Malleus comes with, he comes with two of the three unique weapons from the Children of Necronomicus that we already have. Kind of interesting there. But the sword has the runes on it, and as you can see, they are painted in this nice light green color. I'm sure if you hit that sucker with a black light, it'll glow like the dickens, just like his eyes. And for those of you wondering, I think the ball and chain was first introduced with Gonks. He is the bulkier, armored goblin. That's kind of brown, rust color. Unlike this guy, who's more of a black, kind of dark gray, rusted color, which is pretty sweet. So bring him in closer here. He's got the Belphegor head in a bone color, which is freaking awesome. He's got the green eyes there, so he looks like he came out of Spawn. He's got the pointy gauntlets and boots and feet, and the traditional knight style arms and legs. Looks like he's got Aerithir's crotch plate there. I think this is just a regular, knight belt from one of the earlier waves. He's got the newer belt with the two little loop-de-loops on there. I'm not sure where this torso came from. I want to say this is like Magnus or something, but I could be wrong on that one. The pauldrons appear to be, I want to say they're the Red Shield Soldier. A lot of stuff from Aerithir. The only thing that is post-Aerithir is the belt and the collar piece. Kind of neck armor here. This is from Baron Voligar 2.0, and this belt is, I think, from Krotos. We're both in the Alithia wave. Other than that, everything else is reused from the Aerithir wave or earlier. But I gotta tell you, if the Horsemen could do one thing right, it's master the heck out of reuse. Because this guy feels fresh in hand, despite the fact that he is like 90% stuff we already have. The only thing really new on this guy is the soft goods. He's got a nice wired cape. It's not the most heavy-duty wire in the world, but it doesn't feel like it's going to break. It doesn't feel weak. It just feels, I guess, butter smooth, if that makes sense for a wire. But it's got tatters on the bottom, and I could see people throwing this cape on Tibius, as well as the soft goods around the waist, which also have a bendy wire in them. Just to kind of spruce up that figure, because he was in that most recent in-stock sale. Actually, both of them were, this guy and Tibius. That's where I picked up my Dimistrus here, was that very in-stock sale, which hopefully all the orders are shipped by now, because I don't want to see anyone pissing and moaning in the comments. I didn't get mine yet. Be patient, damn it. But I could see a lot of people sprucing up Tibius with this guy's parts. Specifically the soft goods, of course. But as far as articulation goes, it is standard Mythic Legions fare. He's got the ball peg in the head. Be careful you don't take the paint off the horns on his chinny chin there when you're moving it up and down. It does rotate a little bit, but it is pretty locked down. The pauldrons will move a little bit, but not a ton. Actually, I've seen these on the Furious 4. That's where I know him from. I think it was the Bushati, the alpha figure. But the shoulders move up and down. They rotate forward and back. He does have a swivel in the elbow, hinge in the elbow. He's got a swivel in the gauntlet, swivel in the wrist with a hinge. Works fine. He does have a ball peg in the waist that's pretty locked down, but you can get good crunch out of it, so that's nice. The cape is connected via these, I think these are leather straps that go across his chest and then Velcro together on the back. So it stays on there nice and snug if you Velcro it tight enough, that is. His hips can kick forward and back, out, back down. The left one on mine is a little loose. It's not horrible, but when I set him down, he wants to start doing the splits. I have to always kick this leg in, so hopefully customer service will be nice enough to send me a new hip for this guy, because that is kind of annoying. He does have a thigh cut, a single joint at the knee, as well as a swivel below the knee. He's got a swivel in the foot with an ankle hinge, as well as a rocker and peg holes at the bottom of his big chunky feet, which you don't really need a stand for this guy, but you can use one. That said, when I initially saw Dimistrus, I don't know what I was thinking, but I thought he had more fur on the cape. And, well, fur period on the cape. He doesn't have any. But I also thought he had more skeletal parts, like arms and legs. And I thought he had the hoofed feet as well, but he does not. But that's okay. He's a little bit more stable because of that. You know, the hoof feet are cool, but not the most practical things we've seen, right? And while I do like me some skeletons, he at least has the skeleton head. And if it matches the bone color in the Necronominous wave, then there's going to be a lot of kit bash potential for this figure in the, hopefully, near future. Keeping my fingers crossed that wave comes out before Halloween, at least. That'd be some really cool Halloween videos, if I do say so myself. So, with that being said, I think it is time now that we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is good old Dimistrus alongside a personal favorite of mine. It is I, Belphegor, from the Aether wave, as well as the Dark Templar Knight Legion Builder from the Deluxe Legion Builders wave, just to show you what Dimistrus looks like alongside another heavily armored character, despite the fact that he doesn't have the pointy gauntlets and or boots, but he does share the same arms and legs, while Belphegor over there has the pointy gauntlets and boots, as well as pauldrons and hoof feet, which again I thought Dimistrus was originally going to have, but no dice. So getting them out of here. Bringing our 2 regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulas, who also has the pointy armor, and heavily armored legs, and, well, 1 arm anyways, as well as the 11 Spawn, who looks like he would fight Dimistrus. That said, they have matching eye colors, so maybe they'd get along. I don't know, is that how chicks work? Either way, before I get canceled, I think it is time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and aside from that one solitary loose hip joint on my particular figure, I'm sure they're not all like that, I'm guessing I just got lucky there, good old Dimistrus here is by far one of the most impressive releases for Horsemen have ever done. Now, is it absolutely mind-blowing as far as new stuff goes? Outside of the paint and the soft goods, absolutely not. We've seen all these parts before, but the 4 Horsemen have a way of mastering reuse to where it doesn't feel like reuse, despite the fact that I have a lot of figures with some of these parts, particularly the arms and the legs. You know, we've gotten plenty of knights, plenty of evil characters throughout the history of Mythic Legions that utilize those parts, but for whatever reason, they always seem to feel fresh. And I think the Horsemen are masters of that as well as their craft. So I'm going to stick by my previous statement in saying that Dimistrus here is almost a shoo-in for action figure of 2023. But you'll just have to stay tuned for when I eventually, hoping sooner rather than later, get around to making that video. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.